Thank you for joining us on National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, the government of Dominica makes good on promises made to those affected by Christmas Eve heavy rains. Dominica awarded the third best Caribbean island for getaway vacation, and government committed to bringing feeder road relief to farmers of the Northeast. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after the break.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Thank you for staying with us. The government of Dominica is making good on its promise to assist victims who suffered loss and damage as a result of the Christmas Eve trough system which affected the island. Acting Prime Minister Honorable Reginald Austrie told members of the media on Monday that government, as of last week Friday, began issuing relief promised to those affected.
We began with the supplying of building materials for houses that were damaged. We have finalized and compiled the list and should have started payment for the household items that some of the people lost. And up to Friday, we were just finalizing the final list for the persons with the heavy equipment who assisted in clearing out after the storm. So we are on track with that, and the government, as usual, being true to its word, fulfilling our commitment to the people of Dominica. You've already said that it's going to be a difficult and challenging period for us, but I'm convinced that we're on top of the game and that we will succeed in our endeavors.
The acting Prime Minister said relief and cleanup efforts had been previously estimated to run at approximately $830,000 EC dollars. He said so far $700,000 has been spent and the original estimates may have to be increased.
The initial estimated cost for the cleanup was somewhere in the region of $830,000. I know what I saw on Friday, really heavy equipment and truck owners, that was somewhere in the region of $500,000. And I think for the home repairs, we're looking at another $100,000. And for the replacement of lost household items, we were somewhere in the region of $100,000. So based on what I've seen so far, we're somewhere in the region of some $700,000. But I'm sure that figure may go higher, since we still continue to receive claims, and there could be a supplemental list coming up. So yes, we were at $830,000. We've done about $700,000, and like I say, I would not be surprised if at the end of the exercise we would have gone above the $830,000 that was initially estimated.
Following the damage caused by the Christmas Eve low-level trough system, the government of Dominica took a decision to provide 100% of the assessed value to repair dwelling houses of those affected. The government also agreed to provide 60% of assessed value of personal household effects destroyed as a result of the floods. In other news, the Discover Dominica Authority, in collaboration with the Central Statistical Office, will over the next 2 months embark on a survey to determine cruise visitor experience on the island. Head of the Discover Dominica Authority and Director of Tourism, Colin Piper, tells us that these results are necessary for forward planning of the industry.
We do that on an annual basis. We survey the cruise ship passengers and try to get feedback from them on things like what their spend is like, what the welcome is like, those types of things. And then every 2 years, the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association actually does a study. It's called a BRIA study, and it stands for something, but I think the business something economic review or something like that. But it is the study by the cruise ship, by the FCCA, that speaks to what the cruise ship industry is like to the destinations. And so every other year we have that officially coming out, and we also try to do a survey each year to get a sense for what's happening.
Piper says Cruise Critic is another measuring tool used to gauge how the industry is doing.
The other thing critically that we look at is things like Cruise Critic. You know, that's the TripAdvisor of the cruise industry. And so you will see people say, well, I did this in Dominica and didn't quite work out, or they'll say, I did this in Dominica and it was a wonderful experience. So we have that kind of second-hand data that we can go look at and try to get a sense. And we monitor that and take a look at it and try to figure out if the training that we're offering is in light, is in fact aligned to handle some of the you know, the complaints, for lack of a better word, that you get from Cruise Critic. So those are a couple ways that we look at, and then obviously having discussions with the cruise lines. They themselves take surveys at each port, and so they'll come to you and they'll say, okay, here's the survey, the guest feedback, you know, and then you get a sense for where you rank to your competitive set, and it gives you an idea of what you need to do to improve.
Meanwhile, the Discover Dominica Authority last Friday announced that Dominica was voted the third best Caribbean island to visit as a getaway by USA Today. The Discover Dominica Authority, through its quest to reach 90,000 stayover visitors, had encouraged fans and citizens of the nature island to vote for Dominica during the 4-week contest. The contest ended last Monday and the top 10 winners were published the following Wednesday. The authority is expressing thanks to all those who voted for Dominica and is encouraging support of future contests and campaigns with a view to increase awareness of the destination. The write-up on Dominica on the USA Today website reads, quote, "On mountainous Dominica, it's what lies inland that makes the island special. 2/3 of Dominica's original rainforest remains, as well as one of the few surviving groups of Carib Indians. The island's volcanic roots remain very evident, whether on a hike to one of the biggest boiling lakes on the planet or while exploring underwater volcanic vents." End of quote. Puerto Rico was voted the best Caribbean getaway for 2013, while Curacao was voted second best. Director of Tourism Colin Piper has welcomed this new accolade for Dominica.
We welcome all accolades. We welcome all accolades that speak to the you know, just how wonderful this destination is. What a great experience you can have in this destination. And certainly something done by USA Today, which is a bona fide publication, is certainly an accolade that we will try to utilize now in our public relations to let people know that we've received this accolade from USA Today, and it will help to lend credibility to what it is we're trying to say. So it will certainly augment and assist in our marketing efforts, and that's what those accolades do. It's a third party affirming what it is we are saying. Sometimes people don't believe when you say, oh yeah, you're from Dominica, you're biased. But when a third party, you know, endorses what it is that we're saying, and you know, then it's proof. You know, proof is in the pudding, and we take those accolades and we let people know, hey, we're not the only ones saying that.
Piper is encouraging nationals to increase their awareness of what Dominica has to offer and help spread the word about Dominica as a tourist destination. In more news, the Ministry of Agriculture has taken a proactive move to address farm access concerns of farmers in the Northeast Agricultural Region. On Monday, Agriculture Minister Honorable Matthew Walter, along with team technical officials, including Director of Agriculture Ricky Brumant, met with a group of farmers to discuss possible solutions to their feeder road concerns. The meeting drew attention to the poor road conditions in the Northeast, particularly the Cayenne Book area, which has caused great inconvenience to farmers.
It is very difficult. I'm not the only one. I know how many vehicles I've had them passing up, and it's just cricket, spring, broken spring, broken spring. Is that you can't even get broken leaves or old leaves of spring in the area again, because all the farmers in the area, we have been replacing our springs on a regular basis. And it is something has to be done.
Sympathetic to the plight of the farmers, Agriculture Minister Honorable Matthew Walter assured farmers that 14 farm access roads in the Northeastern District will receive attention in the first quarter of this year. He said the repairs will be made possible through funds under the European Union Banana Accompanying Measures program.
The road will be fixed, as you have said that provision has been made for total repairs to the road. The physical construction will kickstart sometimes in March. It's about 14 roads, okay? And here on that list, I have the Melville Hall, Cayenne Book, Vauxhall, Sunderley Feeder Road. It's a very long road. I think it is one of the longest roads, okay, 6.2 kilometers. Okay, and the entire road will be rehabilitated very soon.
The Agriculture Minister is suggesting that the most critically affected areas of the road be addressed in the interim.
Particularly on the inclined areas, it is very rugged. And as you have rightly said, that it needs to be leveled to remove the undulating areas on the hillsides.
The minister assured farmers that heavy equipment will be sought from the Ministry of Public Works to assist in immediate repair works on the Cayenne Book Road.
With regards to the piece of equipment, I will discuss the issue with the minister, because the Minister of Public Works is the one responsible for all road infrastructure. And I will convince him to respond to that as urgently as possible. Okay? And certainly you can keep your fingers crossed that it will be done as quickly as possible.
The Agriculture Minister expressed thanks to the farmers of the Northeast for the level of patience exercised thus far. He emphasized that government will honor its commitment. Continuing its trend in fostering a learning environment for a cross-section of the society, the UE Open Campus, in collaboration with the Hugh Lawson Shearer Trade Union Institute, hosted a two-day workshop on interest-based bargaining. A number of employers from the public and private sectors and trade union representatives were in attendance at the workshop, which commenced on Monday. These included permanent secretaries, the National Bank of Dominica, the Dominica Social Security, the Garraway Hotel, the Dominica Trade Union, and the Dominica Public Service Union. At the opening ceremony, Dr. Danny Roberts, head of the Hugh Lawson Shearer Trade Union Education Institute, and one of the facilitators of the workshop, gave an overview of the reason behind this particular UE initiative.
Research has shown that there is, in fact, a connectivity between the way in which we interact as employers and employees, how we negotiate, how we conduct our collective bargaining at the workplace, and our levels of competitiveness and productivity, especially in small developing countries like ours. Some years ago, the International Labour Organization, through its regional office here in the region, Trinidad, and the U.S. Department of Labor, conducted a study among some 15 Caribbean countries across 8 sectors. And the result of this study showed that companies with good labor management cooperation are the highest levels of competitiveness and productivity.
He stressed that the main goal of the workshop is to foster a culture of social dialogue and move away from the adversarial approach which traditionally characterizes the negotiating process between employer and employee.
The objective of this two-day workshop, therefore, is to foster an environment conducive to economic development by creating a more efficient and less adversarial collective bargaining process in both the public and private sectors.
Honorable Ambrose George, who represented the Prime Minister in his brief remarks, underscored the goal of the workshop as fostering economic development at a national level.
The primary outcome of the project should generally be a collective bargaining process marked by less cost, greater sustainability, and more equity. Better labor administration is expected to emerge from this, and ultimately, concrete benefits in the form of greater contribution of the public and private sectors to national development.
The workshop was originally conducted in Jamaica and, based on its successful implementation, is being taken to other countries of the region. Dr. Francis Severer, director of the Open Campus, exhorted participants to fully engage in the 2 days of discussion.
I want, therefore, to exhort you to participate fully. We have competent facilitators. I am extremely happy that this is getting off the ground. I want to thank all of those, as I've done before, for helping us in that regard. And I look forward with alacrity to the outcome of this.
According to Dr. Roberts, the workshop will not immediately transform the current industrial landscape. However, it is hoped that having open discussions will be a starting point to move away from contentious trade union negotiations, which often result in strikes and redundancies. This initiative is also expected to be a start in the process to improve the negotiation skills of employers and trade unions, resulting in a win-win situation for all parties involved. Meanwhile, the Newtown Primary School has been temporarily located to the old Teachers Training College, Bath Estate Complex, to accommodate construction work on the new Newtown Primary School. At the start of the new school year in January, students and staff were introduced to their new environment, which will be home for the next 18 months. Education Minister Honorable Peter Seja, in welcoming the students to their new location, assured them that all was done to ensure that they were placed in a comfortable learning environment.
We have relocated them here at the old Teachers Training College, Bath Estate Complex. We have done some renovation work. In fact, some works are still ongoing on the outside external part of the building, with a view to ensuring that the construction company has a site that is unencumbered. The principal, staff, students, and PTA, very importantly PTA executive, are satisfied with the premises, and we have done what we felt was everything possible, humanly possible, at the Ministry of Education to ensure that they have a conducive environment that would lend itself to teaching and learning.
The minister says due to the size of the school population, only 200 students could be comfortably accommodated at the Bath Estate Teachers Training College. He said the lower grades have had to be temporarily relocated to the Fatima Church Hall in Newtown.
Because of the size of Newtown Primary, all of the students could not have been housed at the Bath Estate site. And consequently, we have the 3 lower grades being housed at the Fatima Church Hall, where the Newtown's preschool is the house. So we have made accommodation for them. They are comfortable, and we anticipate that there should be no interruptions as far as the delivery of teaching and, of course, learning is concerned.
Following the official groundbreaking for the new school by government late last year, work on the new Newtown Primary School has begun. The minister said the project will be executed by a Chinese firm.
You will recall that for at least a year and a half now, we've been talking about the construction of the new Newtown Primary School. And a couple months ago, we actually signed the contract for the construction of that school with a Chinese company. We are at the stage right now where the construction company is on island. In fact, work has actually commenced on the new Newtown Primary School, and as a result of that, we had to relocate the students and staff of Newtown.
Principal of the Newtown Primary School, Jerry Coppell, confirmed that students and staff have adjusted very well to their new environment.
Things have been progressing reasonably well. We started on a rough edge, but as time went on, we've been able to settle in nicely.
The Education Minister used the opportunity to thank the principal and staff for their patience and understanding in this transition process. And Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru has revealed to GIS News that at least 3 sectors are on the cards for major improvement in his constituency. GIS News spoke with Dr. Daru on a site of a new and very important bridge in Pishley on Monday. Honorable Daru confirmed that upon completion of the bridge, the nearby basketball court will also receive a boost.
We're also hoping that with savings from this project, which we foresee we might have, that we can also do some renovation and reconstruction work on the young people's basketball court, which is in the very same area. So when this project is completed, we really going to see like a facelift, change of aesthetics of that part of the community.
Project engineer Larry Alcindor confirmed the specifics of the court upgrade.
It's also my aim at the end of the project to try and do some rehabilitation to the basketball court. At least some painting up, maybe some fencing, new boards and maybe put a few seats there to accommodate the youth, especially when they play in their basketball games.
The bridge, associated roadwork and court upgrade is expected to total $500,000. Dr. Daru gave insight into the other development projects planned for his constituency, which includes housing and more sporting improvements.
As a medical professional myself and going around visiting especially the elderly citizens, that we can see I could appreciate the difficulty that the elderly citizens have as it pertains to their solid waste disposal and otherwise. So it's something that I look forward to in the coming year. We look forward also to the completion of the P7 and playing field, which is in an advanced stage right now. I could say almost 90% complete. We have a few little amenities to take care of, so the young people in the community can start playing.
In nearby Dubuque, recently outlined plans to make the cliffside safer for commuters will materialize almost immediately.
Something to look forward to is the addressing of the infamous DB cliff on our Wellbank PPCR project. We have somewhere in the region of $12 million allocated for addressing phase 1 of this cliff. Those of us who live in the area would know, and I remember myself going to school as a young boy. Many times would not make it to school, because of the situation in Dubuque, because the Atlantic Ocean on this side and then this towering cliff on the other side. So we're hoping that under this World Bank PPCR project that we can finally address this situation once and for all, which would involve shelving of the cliff, the seawall, and also the associated roadworks. I said we can look forward to, I think, big and better things in this new year.
On the border of Stowe and Dubuque, Honorable Daru says the development of a fisheries complex has reached advanced stages.
Discussions are underway for the construction. We're in advanced stage for the construction of a fisheries complex at Stowe. In fact, just a few weeks ago, during the ending of the year, 2 high-powered teams from Japan visited, and already preliminary sketches and drawings have already been submitted to me as part of the discussion. So it's something that I'm very optimistic, and as I've said to the constituents, that I hope that they continue and praying that this project receives the final nod of approval from the Japanese authorities back in Tokyo.
Honorable Daru says constituents can look out for more development in 2014 with him as constituency representative.
I really can say that I ended the year on a better note, and really looking forward in this new year for big and better things for the constituency and its residents. As I say every time, that the confidence that you had in me 4 years ago when you voted me, there's no reason why this confidence should be waning now, that I continue to have your best interest at heart. Everybody who knows me would know that I love people, I love humans. I work as a medical doctor, so that by itself speaks volumes. And then I will continue to pursue, as I said, relentlessly to ensure that this little corner of the country receives its fair share of the national development.
And that's it for the English segment of the news. We now join Macpherson St. Louis for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle créole, non moi c'est Macpherson St. Louis. Premièrement, acting Premier ministre Honorable Reginald Austrin, qui a condamné par l'opposition qui a tenu vieux campagne en l'Amérique, qui a concerné le travail gouvernement. Honorable Austrin fait parole ça pendant la conférence média lundi.
Comment tu as écouté hier? Maintenant, Thomson Fontaine, parce que vous savez, c'est qui économiste, qui a dit qu'il y a un gros état là, pour ranger l'économie Dominique. C'est pour faire l'argent, special mortgage facility, pour les gens qui ont ces déwars Dominique, pour faire casio. Ils disent que c'est duty free, et ils disent que mettre l'argent en banque à ce special interest rate. Mais moi, je dis ça par rien qui est neuf, parce que pour 6 années, le gouvernement Dominique a fait ça. Et si vous avez changé, nous mettons l'argent dans le Government Housing Loans Board, $5 millions à 4% l'été. Nous mettons monnaie en aide banque à 5% l'été, $4 millions. Et l'autre jour, là, nous mettons aide banque 5 millions. Je crois à 5% dans terrain. Parce que ça, moi, c'est ça, Tom Fontaine, il a dit Dominicain en l'Amérique. Ce n'est pas rien qui est neuf, c'est quelque chose qui est sorti du livre Dominica Labour Party. Et bien, ça a montré nous que c'est beaucoup ça là, ça. Il y a fait, il y a pas une innovation en tête, il y a ce copycat. Et bien, si il n'y a pas un gouvernement, et bien, ça, c'est attitude à adopter pour travailler d'autres monde. Et bien, dit c'est travail, si vous avez une chance pour un gouvernement, ça c'est plus mauvais. Parce que nous avons dit Dominicains qui l'autre pays pour regarder, porter attention, ça c'est beaucoup ça. Parce que là, il y a les souhaits. Parce que c'est les souhaits qui ont ces médecins là. Oh là, je ne vois pas plage.
À notre nouvelle, le ministre de l'Agriculture tient une consultation pour formuler une policy pour l'agriculture en Dominique. Policy celle-là qui servent comme guide pour le développement sustainable agriculture en pays là. Plusieurs officiers divers secteurs joignent en hôtel Garaway pour discuter en manière policy celle-là qui est implémentée. Quand même si le directeur agriculture Ricky Brumant, policy celle-là bien important pour le développement de tout secteur pays là.
L'agriculture a changé tout le temps. Nous si on temps, là nous garder tout ça nous a fait avant, mener d'autres moun à bord pour faire cette discussion nous ni assis policy ça ces discussions là nous voulons là nous fini papier là nous fini document ça qui nous prend en considération tout monde Dominique nous prend en considération différents aspects agriculture Dominique pour faire cette nous ça progrès, nous ça développer un secteur ça.
À notre nouvelle, Discover Dominic Authority en collaboration et puis l'Office Statistics qui travaille pour conduire un survey qui détermine l'expérience touriste pendant une visite le pays. Parole ça là sorti du directeur touriste M. Colin Piper. Sinon M. Piper, résultat survey ça là bien nécessaire pour savoir comment l'industrie touriste là a marché et puis manière pour aller devant. Piper aussi fait parole qui manière touriste catcher les destinations là aussi important et puis ça même vous que savent comment l'industrie là est. En même temps aussi Piper fait parole qui domine taper 3e position première destination pays Caraïbes pour visiter l'Amérique. Une organisation touriste issue information ça là check qui passe. Finalement, ZAPEC a concerné les négociations pour salaire en différents trade unions et puis institutions travailleurs bien importants. Parole ça sorti du ministre de l'Information, Honorable Ambrose George, pendant qu'il représenté le gouvernement en consultation Interest-Based Bargaining qui prend place en Dominique lundi.
Et bien important, parce que ça nous voit en Dominique avec le Caribbean là, en a whole, qui c'est là où on négocier salaire. Il y a point en auditeur. Avec problème là plusieurs, c'est parce que ces stakeholders pas sa copain interest chaque stakeholder. So pour exemple, si on est public service union, il y a interest eux-même. Gouvernement même ni interest li. Mais ça workshop là qu'a fait c'est pour dire ces gens là qui ont négocié. Il y a pour ni un common understanding how interest yo chaque tous ces stakeholders. C'est yo sa copain primaire avec négocier à une manière qui plus amicable, plus vite avec tout le monde qui win. Quoi c'est une win-win situation. C'est tout le monde qui copain ça qu'a fait avec pour toujours. On est pour point en considération développement pays parce que social development à pays là mon ka négocier à table.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non moi c'est Mac Louis. Au revoir.
Can headphones affect your hearing? Find out next.
Do you have uncovered water storage drums around your home? Do you dispose of old tires, cans, and old containers capable of holding water anywhere in your environment? Are you being bitten by mosquitoes, particularly at dusk and early morning? Do you keep houseplants in water? Do you spend your hard-earned cash to control mosquitoes? Has your community experienced dengue fever outbreaks? If your answer is yes, to at least 3 questions above, you are at risk to dengue fever. Join the fight against dengue fever. The responsibility for a dengue-free Dominica lies with you. So, get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Listening through headphones at a very high volume for extended periods of time can result in lifelong hearing loss for children and teens. Doctors say even a mild hearing loss due to excessive noise could lead to developmental delays in speech and language. So how loud is too loud? According to experts, most MP3 players today can produce songs up to 120 decibels. That's equivalent to the song level at a rock concert. At that level, hearing loss can occur after only about an hour and 15 minutes. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here at GIS, thank you for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.